Hey everyone, it's Miss Monica's turn.
Hello, hello,
Hey.
hello.
Let's see what shows up.
Yep,
Sure can. Yeah. But with the wedding, there's no confidence issues or anything going along.
No, no.
Nah. Good.
Actually, he rang me this morning
Cool.
and I said, well, I've lost the invitation.
Oh,
So he was going to send me all the details. He was just wondering if I was okay to get there and everything.
what a sweetie. So where is it?
In the valley.
Yeah, right. And are you okay to get there?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, if I'm not, I'll go out to my sister's and go in with her.
You'll work it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we just checked out the emotional gear on the bioresonance, let me ask. Okay, so what's the priority for this body? Do we need to do adrenal stuff? Survival, deep survival, hidden deep survival, celestial circuit, chiron point. Okay, so the adrenals are doing okay, which of course makes sense since your body's doing so good.
Yeah.
Because your body tends to go down with emotional gear more than anything.
Yeah.
So your adrenals are doing okay, which is really cool.
That.
That's amazing. But here we go, survival. Deep survival.
See, I can't survive.
And hidden deep.
Okay.
You weren't buying into the whole Alfie cyclone thing, or were you?
No, not really. I just wanted to make sure that I had everything inside.
Yep.
So that nothing flew and hurt somebody else.
Yep.
But the dog was the one that was upset.
Yeah, right. And you feel it when she's upset?
No, well, I had to shut the front and back door.
Yeah.
And normally she can see out the front, she can walk out the back whenever she wants.
Yeah.
But because it was raining every which way,
Yeah,
so I
right.
come down a couple of times through the night to let her go out, and she looks at me and looks out there and looks at me and looks at me. You mean to say I got to go out there? I say, only if you want to.
That's why it was so funny. We're sitting down watching a movie. I can't remember what. Oh, I think we watched The Matrixes over the cyclone. So anyway, we're watching the second Matrix on a Saturday night. And so Josh came down the stairs and he said, "You guys are just determined to be the least stressed about this of anyone I know." Which I thought was a funny comment.
What was going to happen was going to happen.
Well,
so,
yeah, and that was probably the howliest night,
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there, and then we had a power outage just watching TV, but it wasn't all of the power. And Jay said, "Oh, okay," so we went outside to do the little flicky switch thing, and it wouldn't switch back on. So he said, "Well, there must be a short in the circuit," and my thinking was because I am often to blame when that happens because, those palm frond grinders?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I always leave that outside. It always gets wet and it always shorts us out.
Okay.
So but I knew I'd put that in the shed. So it was the power point that plugs Jaime and the fridge into the house, and it was in 2 inches of water. So we got it out of the 2 inches of water, and a minute later the TV came back on, and
Oh, okay.
so we caused our own power blackout.
Yeah, well,
blackout.
so did I. Mine was the laundry power point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did it get wet somehow?
Yeah, there's water in it.
Yeah, right.
So I was out for a day.
Okay, so a couple of little chakras and things going on with those survival patterns. Let's just go in and check it. And the immune system, so the survival stuff messing with the immune system a bit.
Okay.
Have you had blood sugar stuff going on since have you been craving anything you wouldn't normally crave or anything?
Yeah, okay.
A bit? Okay. Yeah, because it's messing with your blood sugar balancing.
Okay, yeah.
So when we're in survival, you need lots of glucose for your brain.
Yeah.
So the sugar helps the extremities to really...
I have wanted ice cream, but I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, right.
So I'm happy about that. I was stuck in traffic and I bought the carrot cake, so, grabbed a piece and when I got home, I thought, oh, I myself another piece. Been eating a lot of protein lately too.
Good stuff. What are you choosing? What protein are you choosing?
The meats and chicken and
Yeah.
stuff like
With
that.
the fat on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Especially the pork chop.
Pork choppies.
Then I had that Brussels sprouts with bacon.
Oh, yummy.
Oh, I cooked up a whole heap of that, and over 3 days I just go to the fridge and grab
Yeah,
some more out.
nice. Yeah.
So I'm going to get some more Brussels sprouts today because I've got the bacon. So.
Yeah, so fully aware we've got 2 incomes in the family. That box of food out there is from a place called Polina Fresh, and they do ketogenic meals.
Okay.
And so plenty of protein. It's not low oxalate at all. It's really high oxalate.
Yeah.
But it sort of has things like sausage rolls,
Oh, okay.
like with no sugar and carbs.
Okay.
So they make the crust out of almond flour and things like almond.
Okay.
Almond
Okay.
and eggs and butter and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's pretty, but when you look at the ingredients are great.
Yeah.
You know, there's just nothing bad in there.
Yeah.
And I've just ordered, not cheap, so we bought a 6-pack of hot cross buns for $28. But you sort of think, well, if you were out at a cafe, you'd pay.
Yeah.
Well, I would.
Yeah.
You know, I'd pay $6 or $8 for a bit of cake or a bit of something or other.
Well, you have to these days.
Mm-hmm. So at least this with real ingredients and stuff. It's a bit of a snack.
Yeah.
But there's no guilt.
That's right.
Did some garlic scrolls. Oh my God, they were so good.
Nice.
They were so good. Yeah, they're like $18 for 6.
That's only $3 each.
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah. And once again, we ate 3 for lunch, but I still wasn't hungry 6 hours later. I should have only had 1.
Yeah.
You know, it was just being little Miss Piggy, and they was too delicious.
Yeah. Yes, I miss Piggy too.
Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, our next wedding's on the 31st of May, so it's been ages since we've been to a wedding.
No, me too. I was with Pauline yesterday. She was the last wedding, and she said she's been married 6 years now, so.
Wow. Oh no, I was at a wedding last year. Remember when I went to Philippines? My cousin Bernard and his wife.
Yes.
They're having their honeymoon a year later at the moment.
Oh, good on them.
Because there were so many shenanigans going on with all the different countries and visas and anyway. So a year later, they are literally on honeymoon at this moment.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. She still hasn't made it into Australia though. Our Australian government is so much fun.
Oh, okay. But the ones that commit crimes, they can stay in.
Oh, and we've got 3 million visas ready to go for the next, it's just crazy. You know, and Elbow says we're going to make 30,000 new homes for people, but he brings in 2 million people in the last 3 years. It's just, anyway. The word on the street with the homeless is not happy.
Mm. We had a guy come and interrupt the church service on Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
He was homeless, and he comes in and he says, "Look at all those cars out there. No, I'm homeless."
Oh, right. Yeah. It is. It's pretty awful.
Yeah.
And, it's sort of like fastigial nucleus. Yeah, right. This sort of makes sense with what you've been through with work. It's when what's going on and what's going on in your brain doesn't match how it's being portrayed out there.
Mm.
So you think, well, this is me at work. This is what they said about me at work. So how can this be the thing?
Mm.
So it's when it doesn't match and the brain is just having a hard time reconciling it because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And there's no way to reconcile it a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's right.
Except like you say, sometimes it's like, well, I just need to quit and I don't care what they think because obviously
That's right.
we're on different.
And one door closes, no one opens. So.
Yeah, I think the similarity or potential similarity is that your hubby gave you no kudos for the work you did when you were working. So sometimes people are just quiet little mice. People don't see all the stuff they do. I had an aunt years and years and years ago. She was working at a daycare centre down in Newcastle. And again, they just abused her over, and she was paid X amount of hours per week, and they always had more work for her. So she always did way more work than what she was being paid for. And when they, I can't remember whether she resigned or she got sacked, but they had to hire 2 people to take, you know, like,
to do her job,
it cost twice as much money for them to replace her because they just kept pushing the buttons. And I was listening to a doctor this morning talking about the lack of resilience in kids these days, and how we're going to have a whole generation of people who are hard. Filling roles in the workplace is going to be really challenging because there's a whole generation of kids who won't be up to the task of going to work, doing the work, following the rules, playing the game, you know.
That used to hurt.
Yeah. See what happens when you stand on your own 2 feet?
All that walking.
All that walking.
One day this week I paid 22,000 steps.
Wow, well done. That's so good for you, that watch. I mean, I disagree with it, you know, in principality, but it does you some really good. I know it does you good.
We have a small, medium, large and extra large walk.
Yes.
So we get to the small one, and if she wants to go further, she just pulls so that we go to the next one.
Yeah, right.
And then if she wants to go further, she will start pulling just before where we turn around. We walked right around the Yatla industrial area the other night.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not going to enlarge the extra large one.
How long does that one take you?
About an hour and 3/4.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can take me 2 hours.
Yeah. Good job. Exercise is so protective. Yeah, that was serotonin and your base chakra. So when you're feeling attacked or abused or unstable, then it messes with your serotonin. So as you're getting through your house, how's that making you feel?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning and see, you know, an area you've just done. So, yeah.
Nice. I love it.
I bought in cupboards, but I did under the sink because I wanted to know what I really had underneath there. You know, and when we go shopping, you don't buy
Up for me.
stuff that you don't need.
Hold up for me. This is stomach energy. Yeah.
So I don't have to buy anything like that for ages now. So. And it's all tidy and stuff like that.
Yeah, tomorrow I've got to drive to Enoggera and pick up some of the tiles for the bathroom upstairs.
Wow.
Yeah, so hopefully it looks pretty cool when it's done. Teddy's calling it his bathroom, of course.
Oh, of course, yes.
He said, "Are they working on my bathroom upstairs, Grandmum?" I said, "Yes, they are." And he never uses that bathroom, so I reckon he's gonna start using it. Yeah.
bit different to what it was before, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it's totally moving around. So, because one of the things with the way it was set up before was that tall people, and we don't have a lot of tall guests, but because of where the shower was, anyone tall,
that's
you know,
right.
it leans on their chest or their, you know.
Yeah.
So this way we're moving the shower so that it'll be quite high, hopefully, if they've positioned it correctly.
Yeah.
And so we've moved it all around. I think the toilet's the only thing in the same spot.
Yes. I've worked that one out.
But I got Teddy to go into each spot and say, okay, Teddy, pretend you're on the toilet. So he'd go, pretend you're in the shower. I love the fact that he just does what I tell him to do. He's just so cute. I told you about the chemtrails at school yesterday. There was just a huge stripe going across the sky, and because I've been watching that they've been, you know, saying there was going to be rain this weekend, I knew that had to happen at some stage. So it was sort of funny, you know. He was walking with his little friend, and I was walking with her mum about 15 metres behind him or something. Yeah. And I looked up and I saw it, and sure, it was a big, thick streak, and then there was nothing, and then there was another big, thick streak. So I said to the mum, who likes being in her little bubble, not knowing anything, but, you know, she's my friend, so she knows things she doesn't want to know. And I said, that's the way you can tell that it's not a contrail, because a contrail will just be one streak behind the plane and it will just dissipate. I said, but when it's something coming out of the plane, it's there, and then it's not, and then it's there again. That's a really obvious sign. Yeah. Anyway, Teddy didn't hear any of that, and he turns around and he says, hey, Grandmum, is that a good cloud or a bad cloud? And I said, what do you reckon, Teddy? And he said, bad cloud. And I said, oh, well, we'll see if it rains today or tomorrow. So I'll probably be in trouble again soon. As you do.
It's lightly raining when I was coming across.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got whiteout going on. Okay, let's go back and recheck this. Hold. Beautiful. Hold.
Yes.
Hold. Excellent. So survival, deep survival, hidden deep survival, they've calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say about your brain earlier on?
Oh, I just can't think of words.
Can't think of words, okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was something. Well, let's go check the celestial circuit. Was it celestial circuit or was it Chiron point celestial circuit? Okay. And hold.
Yeah.
And hold. Yeah, no.
Yep.
Okay. Is it the feminine or the masculine side? The masculine side, so it's, yeah. So it's the doing. I'm doing
a lot of doing.
Yeah. I was thinking about your husky when we were doing the research for our holiday overseas. Because that's one of the things we're doing is a husky sled ride.
Oh, okay. This place has an also that you can take them and they do sleds on grass. But I couldn't run with her anyway, so they did.
So you take your own dogs?
Yeah.
Really?
Don't know where it is. When I was going to dog club, they were talking about it. She ran away the other day. She sat there for so long, and then all of a sudden I went and said hello to a lady, and well, did she take off?
And hold. Hold. Okay, so we're back to balanced.
Okay.
Good. So we went from third stage stress through second and first and back to balance. So well done.
Good.
Okay, so is there anything else we need to do before doing some integration? There is something. Okay. So do we need to check any immune system stuff? Do we need to check any organ stuff? Organ stuff. Okay. So brain, governing, lung, sex, heart, stomach, large intestine, bladder, small intestine, triple heater, small intestine. Okay, so quadriceps. Hold up for me. No. And hold.
Good
No.
say.
Interesting. But small intestines, of course. It's also the seat of gut emotions. It makes a lot of our serotonin, melatonin. It's hugely involved in our immune system. If it's not working well, our liver and gallbladder have a hard time metabolizing stuff through the small intestine.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on in there.
Okay.
And again, hold, beautiful. And hold,
As
beautiful.
easy as that.
Get that energy moving. Okay, so bladder, small intestine, triple heater, gallbladder, liver. Gallbladder, okay, so liver. Hold, I'm going back, perfect. Hold up, I'm going down, perfect. Hold, I'm going back, good. Hold up, I'm going down, good. So it must be. How's between your shoulder blades? Nothing going on in there at the moment?
No, there's a little twinge I get every so often, but
Okay.
apart from that.
Hold in, don't let me lift up. Oh, that's not happy.
Okay.
Not bad, but not awesome.
It's on that side. This side.
Hold in. Yeah, right. So you're right, rhomboid. I mean, it's probably good because you see Sean regularly and he'd get in there and crack, you know, those little guys when they need it.
Yeah, I must pay over next week or the week after. Yeah, I've got a busy week next week.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're getting Jellicoe Street done at the same time or at some stage soon, you know, when he fits it on in his books.
Mm-hmm.
So the two, so our bank account's going to look really crap within a few months.
Oh.
Yeah, well. And we're also chopping down a tree in the back of Jellicoe Street, $5,500. But this is the one that creates the space so we can build a granny flat in there.
Okay.
And it's a huge tree.
Oh, okay.
Rhomboid. Hold in for me. That's better. Interesting. Do you eat any offal?
No,
Because you don't like it? Or because you don't think of it?
I don't think about it. Used to eat a lot of it when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like tongue and liver and all that sort of stuff. Tripe. Oh, I don't think they sell tripe these days, but yeah, I've never seen it.
There's a place out at Ormo that sells organic, you know, so if you can get organic offal, it's really good for you.
Okay.
It's really high nutritionally and a lot of essential fatty acids and good fats and proteins.
Okay.
No, but just sort of thinking if you can get them, you know, if you're making anything and just add them in, if you find a good butcher who has a good supply. Because, you know, you can make your own pâtés and stuff. Do you like pâtés?
Oh, I haven't had pate for years.
I love pate. I think because we were vegetarian for 20 years,
Yeah.
I think, I think that's why I like game meat, you know, because it's got a good, you know, it's got flavour, it's got a real, you know, as opposed to bland stuff.
I'm pretty simple eater, really.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been looking up the sort of foods that are over there, you know, in the Northern Lights area.
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff going on, but that's okay. We'll always try weird stuff.
Yeah.
And it's probably not even so much. I did hear one sort of funny thing, probably from the climate, you know, climate perspective. Because, you know, they try to do a lot of green energy in a lot of these European countries.
Yeah.
So there's a little town where they've only got about Kirkenes, where they've only got about 200 hotel beds.
Okay.
So therefore it really limits the amount of tourism they can have because, you know, they get more than that and it's not a lot.
Yeah.
But then they were saying that, it's becoming quite a destination because it's up the top of Norway and you come down in and then you get all the Lapland, Northern Lights type area.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, if they increased the number of beds, they wouldn't have the electricity to service anyway, which was the first time in my life I've ever actually heard that as a thing.
That could happen here one day.
Oh, it will absolutely happen here. You know, they were saying on the weekend that with all of the billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that our government spent on green energy, the peak amount they used of green energy in New South Wales on the weekend was 1.4% of the energy. It's such a rort.
The guy in the afternoon, he'll tell you how much energy's being used and where it's coming from. And the other day, it was one day this week, 79% was coming from coal.
Yeah, right.
That's a big...
You know, given that they're not maintaining the coal plants and they're not looking after them and supporting them, it's just crazy.
We sell our coal to other countries and they're building the...
And China's making plenty per week, you know, or per year. They're making oodles of new coal-fired power plants.
I think it's one a fortnight. It was ridiculous. The number, I'm sure it was one a fortnight that he said.
In China?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. You know, and every time we have storms like what we had last week, you know, these huge things of solar panels where they have cut down the trees to put up solar panels and half of them get wrecked and it's just infuriating.
Yeah. I don't have any solar.
Yeah. Just never got around to it or didn't believe in it?
No,
or...
I got a quote and I thought I'll never use that amount of power.
Yep.
And my bill's only $200.
Yeah, right.
A quarter.
Yeah. Don't need to worry.
No, because I turn everything off at the switch. When I'm finished using it.
Hold out, nice and strong, beautiful. Okay, in relation to all the recent work shenanigans. Hold out. Okay, so I want you to think hand to heart about how it feels having let that go. And hold. Yeah, right, so you're mostly there. There's still some shenanigan stuff
I'm
there.
Still sort of,
but there's definitely a really good shift energetically.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. That's not going to turn out very good because I've still got, things just come to my mind. And like that.
It's still taking up space in your brain. Yeah. I think every single time I've run the amygdala, this whole thing so far, it's been pain and punishment circuit. So, you know, it's got in there. It's a gnarly thing.
Yeah.
And I think exactly because we know that because you put your heart on your sleeve and you work hard,
Yeah.
when you work, you work.
Yeah.
So for it to be questioned.
Well, put it this way, if you're not going to do the job properly, don't bother doing it.
Old-fashioned sentiments,
That's
my
right.
dear. Okay. The whole work shenanigans. And hold. Beautiful. Any of the other 4 pathways? And hold. No, so just nerves. Okay, so now we're going to the anterior commissure. And hold nice and strong. Oh, yo.
Yeah. What'd you say?
And again, thinking about moving forward. And hold. Interesting. Good stuff. Glad Manda's been there for you.
Yeah.
There's a Mercury Theatre play on this weekend,
Okay.
and that's been cancelled a couple of times and was cancelled due to Alfie, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there's still tickets, so we'll probably go on Friday night.
Okay.
We've got a 40th birthday party to go to on Saturday night,
Okay.
80s theme.
Oh, okay.
And we're going on a motorbike ride on Sunday morning,
Oh, yeah.
maybe, depending on, I mean, they're claiming the weather's going to be pretty much from now till Tuesday, I think. Okay, all these work shenanigans. And hold. Any more of the other 4 pathways? Hold. No. Okay, so now the hippocampus. And hold. Now, what did I read this morning? The hippocampus in happy, healthy people, it shrinks deliberately because it's not required because, life's pretty good. The amygdala is then able to be bigger so that the happy, healthy people can really pay attention to what's going on that might be dangerous. Which was sort of an interesting way. It's not how, but what singing and dancing does, so when we just put on the music and dance around, what singing and dancing does, it makes it so the brain just, because you can't sing and dance if you're about to be eaten by a tiger.
Yeah, that's right.
So singing and dancing puts us into that space
Okay.
where we are not in survival.
Okay.
Do you listen to music much? You're more a talk back girl, aren't you?
Because it's talking to me.
Yeah.
You got someone there without anyone there.
I'll work shenanigans. And Holland. I'm glad it's over.
Yes.
And it sounds like you've got some good little strategies
Yeah.
for when you see people from work.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. Okay, all work shenanigans. And hold, beautiful.
Lovely.
Do we need to do fear of failure or fear of success as well? Anything else with the hippocampus? What about 4 pathways? No. Okay, so let's check the connection from left to right. Parahippocampus. In the clear. The whole work shenanigans. And hold. But actually I'll go back to the hippocampus because the thing about not being able to find those words, there's some specific pathways we can go and have a look at.
Okay.
And yeah, they shut down when either we go into a pain and punishment circuit or when we're craving something. So, just thinking a similar thing to what happened. Doug was on the board of there was something, maybe it was Rotary or no, it was the local historical society. For 20 years he was on the board. And then a new woman came in. She decided the old fogies were doing it all wrong. So she got all her cronies in and they voted in a new board. Not even a thank you for 20 years of service. Not even a thank you. Anywho.
But that's the trouble. It's the new people that come in that causes all the problems. 'Cause
Yeah.
I reckon that's what
Yes.
that's what it was, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll never know for sure.
You know.
I don't need to know.
Yeah. But your gut's pretty right most of the time. So now let's go in and have a look. So, short-term memory. Hold. And hold out. So that is short-term memory being shut down because you're not getting pleasure or reward out of stuff. So that was giving you momentum and a reason and all of and don't when you started doing it 7 years ago. So your brain's going, I don't know what to do without that. Only a little bit. Dave and I played around with, we had a surrogate client yesterday, and she does it so that she can, because she's in Australia, she was on the screen and I tested up the flower essences she needed. And afterwards I thought, well, I'll have a look and see what the AI, because I'm using the AI a bit to, it's still very pro-medical stuff, which is very irritating, but whatever, bit by bit. But I said to it, write me a short positive affirmation for the combination of the flower essences, little flannel flower, cauliflower and silver princess or something. And it came up with this like 20 words that was perfect, and I could see where it integrated the 3 of those flower essences. And while I was doing that, David was saying that, because he was talking to Beth on the weekend and saying about, how I do this stuff. I say, oh, well, what will we chat about today? And he'll say blah, and I'll say, oh, okay. So I'll quickly type it into AI and it gives me this little overview. So it gives us something that, we
just so.
Anyway, so he was showing Beth because neither of them had ever had anything to do with it. So then they asked the AI about a really obscure spiritual bit of Vaishnava philosophy. And it spat out all of this stuff about it. And he's like, how can it possibly know? Like, how is all this stuff, like, how could it know? So then they started playing around and then Beth wrote, my husband David, blah, 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 and wrote all these positive things about him. And then asked it to write a poem about her husband. And it just spat out this poem. So he's telling me this story. And then so I said this to the bot about the flower essences as he's telling me this story, and I'm sitting there and I said, now write me a poem that, that is really cute and fun, for, anyway. And it spat out like a 8-paragraph poem about the combination of little flannel flower, cauliflower and silver princess.
Wow.
Anyway, so I sent it to the client because I thought it was pretty funny. Technology being good, not evil. Like your watch.
It doesn't actually...
I mean, it's probably giving all your data to Russia, but who knows?
No, it won't hold the things. I have to be, when I go to bed, I take the steps off there because it's not. I don't know, something's happened and it won't record it, sort of thing. That's all right. Got my
Good.
ways and my steps every day.
Excellent. And hold. And hold. Beautiful. Now long term. And hold. And hold. It's so much fun. Oh, okay. That one's different. So all of the short-term ones were pain and punishment circuits, but the long-term one is rage, anger, frustration.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes we've just got to release the hounds.
Mm.
And hold. And hold. And then the other one. And hold. And hold. Okay. So yeah, it was the craving pleasure and reward. So because you've been doing it, and even though you give yourself most of the reward,
Yeah.
because you go along and you love a job well done,
Yeah.
you loved looking after the hiring and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It was more your self stuff.
Mm.
But there's a difference between not being appreciated and being overly outwardly non-appreciated. Like there's there's only so much the body can take. Okay, so now let's go in and check. Where was I? Oh, did I have to do any? Yeah, right. So the hippocampus as well, memory center, shuts down with a lack of motivation.
Okay.
But it's usually because of our self-talk. Or repeating what other people have said about us.
Mm.
Or repeating what we imagine other people have said about us.
Well, what was the thing that came up this morning? Go with your gut, because whatever you do, somebody will criticise it anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, the guy who's the main builder, he was around here on Friday night.
Mm.
And anyway, he's up for a chat, as people are. And because he hadn't been there for the previous 2 days, he had a whole bunch of people who were in and out and doing some stuff.
Yeah.
And he saw a few messes that, I don't know whether he's just doing it for us as clients, but he certainly wasn't happy with the mess that was sort of left by the boys.
Yeah.
And I kept, and then because I thought they were coming, maybe it was Thursday night. Anyway, whenever he came around, I thought they were coming in the next day, and then they didn't, and then so I kept not cleaning it because I thought they're going to be back. He's told them to clean it, so I kept putting off cleaning the hallway upstairs.
Yeah.
I ended up standing on a little bit of copper that had been so it was like a sharp, thorny, and I thought, well, that suits me. That teaches me.
Yeah.
To try to wait for the boys to do it. Yeah, it was gnarly and sharp. So let's go brokers to brokers. Oh, let's go back and recheck. Internal negativity due to that internal chat Beautiful, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So now, brokers to brokers, the words coming out of your mouth.
See, they don't. Just sometimes it just so frustrates me because I can't think of the word.
Mm.
And then people don't know what you're talking about, so they can't even suggest.
Mm. That's where it's been good being married for 35 years. Jay knows what words I'm thinking about.
I've been on my own 26 years.
Awesome.
How's that?
Mm. Of course, I only say awesome because I know that's what you want.
Yeah. Different person.
Wernicke's to Wernicke's, Wooska. That's the thoughts behind the words.
Oh, okay.
But what happened? It's a fairly big blow to your self-worth, self-esteem, all of that stuff. So it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
You know, it's taken your body a bit of time to get back to
It's
balance.
only a month anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay, so Wernicke's to Wernicke's, the thoughts behind the words, excellent. Then the auditory integration points. Hard. That's the stuff we say to ourselves, it's the stuff we integrate from other people, it's the stuff we're hearing on the radio that's irritating the crap out of us.
Yeah. Oh, then I turn it off.
When it irritates you.
Yeah, it irritates me. Just turn it off.
Okay, auditory integration points, beautiful. And rip and lip. And hold.
There wasn't one part that was.
No, those
So
are
no wonder those words would
no,
come in.
absolutely. So rip and lip is all the incoming and outgoing, short-term and long-term auditory, visual and kinesthetic memories.
Oh, okay.
So that's everything you see, hear and feel. Short-term and long-term memory both going into your brain as well as going out. So yeah, fairly important, that little area.
Yeah.
Fear, threat, danger. So it's probably like, let's just shut down your brain, then you don't have to talk about it, think about it,
Yeah, well that's,
you know,
that's virtually.
about protection. And hold. Beautiful. Now let's check all your logical integration areas. And hold. Negatory.
Not logical.
They are not running at the moment. That one's back to pain and punishment.
Okay. That's what most of them have been today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you and your brother treated the same in the household?
Oh, sometimes.
Because, you know, boys were often
Yeah.
treated like they were the ones with the brains and the girls were in the kitchen and, you know, don't put too much effort
like
into the
he
girls.
did everything with dad or for dad and
Yeah.
stuff like that, whereas I was the odd one out. Because my sister was princess.
Yeah, right. Oh, weren't you the little princess? Yeah, I was never a princess. I think when I was about 15 and TV shows started, you know, where in America there was like the perfect little princess in the house with it, and I'm like, whose families are these? So I don't know whether they actually existed anywhere, but no one I knew had that stuff going on. Yeah, so the Gestalt one, which is the creative thinking, the big picture stuff, that's fear, threat, danger, rather than allowing that. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Are we ready to finish? Is there something else we need? Do we need a diffusion or a correction? A correction. ESR, oscillation, chakra essence, or flower essence. So a bark flower essence, a bush flower essence, and the ones in front, the left box, the right box, the right box, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, or row 1, row 2, row 3. Oh, sundew. So yeah, right, that probably makes sense. Because sundew is for just feeling vague. You know, like our brain just isn't sparking on all fours, you know?
Yeah.
That's only 3 drops.
Well, maybe I'm getting through it.
Yeah, sundew is also in both emergency essence as well as the super learning formula.
Okay.
So just really good to, you know, flick that brain back on again. Is there anything more? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Oh, wow.
Well done, honey.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
This is a new program for this body now and in the future. The old program for this body is no longer necessary now in the future. Hallelujah and amen.
Amen, yes.
Now, hopefully you'll sleep really well tonight.
Oh, sleeping's no problem. Yep, sorry.
No, I know. It's wonderful. You're not in pain and you're sleeping really well. That's funny. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.